What's going on, everyone? My name is Sade Burrell. I'm so excited to talk about this topic today. Today's topic and workshop is about scholarships. Scholarships are so important and crucial for your education, especially for those of you who are in community college and those who are in undergraduate school. And the reason why it's so important is because there's so much free money out there for you that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there are some people who have to beg people to apply for scholarship. Sometimes the scholarship is $200, sometimes it's $500, sometimes it's $20,000, sometimes it's $1,000. Doesn't matter how much it is, it's free money and you have to go after it. Free money is how you're going to pay for your education. Not student loans, not borrowing from your auntie, your grandmas. No, we going after straight scholarships and grants. That's all we're going to be doing. So what I want to focus on during this online workshop is how to get you free money. My goal is for you to walk out of here feeling confident in your ability to find the money. In a later workshop, we'll talk about how we're going to actually help you write the scholarship so that you can receive the free money. It's very important to understand the difference. So right now we're going to help you focus on what are you going to do in order to find the free money. All right. So first thing, let's get one thing clear. Where are some places where you can find free money? Write this down. If you have your pen and paper, I want you to write this down. The first place you want to start looking for free money is very simple. The campus that you're at. Go down to your financial aid office, ask for a copy of any scholarships that they would recommend for you to apply for. Not loans, scholarships and grants that you should apply for. Ask your financial aid office, are you maxing out the amount of scholarships or grants that you're currently able to receive? Sometimes there are grants that are missing off your financial aid that you have not applied for. That's free money. You do not have to pay back a grant, nor a scholarship do you have to pay back. So go check in your financial aid office and make sure that you are able to max out everything. Then after that, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your school website and I want you to type in whatever your school name is. So let's say you came to San Diego State. It would be San Diego State scholarships. Let's say you went to Cal State San Marcos. Cal State San Marcos scholarship. Let's say you went to San Diego Mesa College. San Diego Mesa College scholarships. And I want you to type that in on either Google or on the school website, scholarships. Your school has so much free money already sitting there for students who are currently students. So what I want you to do is do those few steps. And then once you do that, you're like, yeah, but Sade, that's all good. I'm still having a little bit of trouble finding some scholarships. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm going to give you 10 things you need to know about getting scholarships, okay? So don't worry about that right now. But I am going to give you 10 things you need to do in order to get those scholarships. All right? So here's what I want you to do. If you're watching this right now, I want you to take a break right now, pause the video, and do this for me. Write down characteristics about yourself that are great. Like if you're a woman, write down that you're a woman. If you are African American, write down that you're African American. If you're a first generation college student, write down you're a first generation college student. If you come from a single parent household, write that down. If whatever things about you that you find are special or unique, I want you to write them down. Here's what I always do. I look at back when I was a kid and I look and see what was I teased about as a kid, right? Because guess what? You can get paid off for things you were teased about as a kid. You know, people don't think about that. But it's like, think about those things. I know it seems kind of weird that that's how you would get money. But I want you to challenge yourself and just think about those things. Because did you know that there are scholarships available to people who are left-handed? People who have green eyes, brown eyes. There are scholarships out there for it. So that's why I want you to think of every little thing you could possibly think of that's uniquely about you. And the people who bring out those things that are unique about us are usually those who didn't understand us when we were kids. So I really want you to just take a moment right now and think about what are some things that are unique about you and your situation. Pause the video now. All right, hopefully you paused the video. All right. If you didn't follow directions. That's okay. But we're going to keep going. And here's what I want to talk about, the 10 things you need to know about getting scholarships. Okay. First thing is save time and stress with the scholarship strategy search. So when I say a scholarship strategy search, what I mean is take the things that you wrote down, that you recently just wrote down, and I want you to start planning. How are you going to search for these scholarships? So most women who are into math, science, it's very rare for women to be involved in those career fields. And so those are things that are actually very, very unique. There are scholarships available for women who are majoring in math. Just because you're a woman and you're majoring in math. What about if you're a man and you're majoring in a major that's dominated by females? Social work, teachers. These are all professions that you could possibly get because simply you're a male working in a field that's dominated by females. What about being a single parent? Like, because you're a single parent, you might be able to find scholarships that are able to help you with childcare, to help you pay for expenses such as diapers and formula, etc. But if you don't come up with a strategy on how you're going to find those scholarships, you'll just be taking any scholarship you could possibly find. And the goal is not to find any scholarship. The goal is to find the scholarship that's right for you. So if you can, go to Google search engine, Bing, Yahoo. I prefer Google. So I go to the Google search engine. This is us coming up with our strategy. And I type in exactly what I wrote. So as a child, I was very, very short. So I actually tried to find scholarships for African American females who are under the height of 5 foot. And so I would write that in on Google. Let's take another one. Let's say that you are an art major. In this day and age, it's very rare to find people who are in the art major. So what if you went to Google and typed in scholarships for art majors, scholarships for single parents, scholarships for Latina women, scholarships for African American women, scholarships for first generation. But we're doing that with a strategy. We have something in mind. We already know what we want. Scholarships for whatever the characteristic is that you have, that you listed down. Scholarships for whatever your major is, or whatever the career field you want to get into. And here's another thing that I really want you to do. Do this ahead of time. Don't do it all in one day. One day, you're mapping out how you're going to strategize. The next day, you're going to actually start searching. So break this up. Doesn't have to happen all in one day. Right? Here's another thing. I don't want you to search alone. I actually want you to have someone else helping you. Go in and see your academic counselor or your academic advisor. Go in and ask for any type of help, but you don't want to search alone. Next, we want to search for the scholarships that are also local. Scholarships that are local are scholarships for people who are in the community that you're serving. Sometimes, did you know that a church can give you a scholarship? Sometimes if you go to your congregation and you ask your church, hey, I'm going to college. Is it possible for you all to fund me in college? They'll have a scholarship waiting, but you didn't know because you didn't ask. What about if you typed in scholarships in the city that you're at? For transfer students, scholarships for the city that you're at for students in graduate school or students in undergrad. Those are all ways for you to find scholarships, right? And so that was the third thing I wanted to share with you. And the fourth thing, don't forget to use the general scholarship search website right away. Like I mentioned, find the local scholarships, not only local in the community, but I mean local as far as like right where your classes are. What about your professors? They might actually have a scholarship. I had one professor who in the middle of the semester unfortunately, someone that this individual really loved and cared about passed away. In an effort to honor that individual, they wanted to give away a scholarship. And they actually gave that scholarship away. And they gave it away to a student that was in the class that was really working hard. And that student came to that professor and told the professor, hey, I'm looking for scholarships. Do you know of any? So when it came to give out the scholarship, who got the scholarship? The person who went and said, hey, I'm looking for scholarships. Do you know of any? All right, let's keep going. Right, so winning scholarship essays contain strong examples, not just facts, okay? And we're going to talk about this way more in depth in the next video, okay? It's not only about facts, about you providing statistics. Sometimes it's about having strong examples on who you are and what you represent. So if you can showcase that, you have a pretty good chance of getting that scholarship. But in order to showcase that, we have to go back to step number what? Number one. And step number one was, hey, we have to map out that plan so that you can understand who exactly you are. Okay? Oh, here's another one, the sixth tip. Did you know there's no such thing as a scholarship season? I don't know who came up with this, but there's a rumor going around saying that it's a scholarship season. Scholarships are only coming out during the fall or during the summer. Scholarships are available year-round, all the time, and it is your job to take full advantage of those scholarships year-round. Here's what I also want you to do. Find the scholarship that you really want, that you found, and let's say it's past the due date. I want you to write it down on your calendar and then put it in your phone. And I want you to set a date, maybe 2 months before it's due, a reminder on your phone or on your calendar for you to complete it. That way next year you'll be able to apply. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, seventh tip. The great thing about writing scholarships and finding them and doing all this work, I know by now you're like, oh, come on, I don't want to do this. It's too much work, it's way too much. I don't have time, I have finals, I have this. Don't worry. If you write one essay, the chances of you reusing information that you wrote, most scholarships ask the same question. What is your major and why did you choose that major? You already wrote it for the other 10 scholarships you applied for. So you can reuse that information. So really, you write a scholarship one time and then you take little bits and pieces of it, and you might have to write a little bit more, but you're not writing a whole another 5 pages. You're just simply writing another 2 or 3 paragraphs. A lot easier, right? All right, here's the thing. Don't forget, when you're searching for scholarships, you also search for people to write your letter of recommendation. That's key. Who can recommend you and write a good letter of recommendation? And make sure you read their letter of recommendation before they send it off. Because sometimes they may say things about you that you may not have known, or you may want to provide them with suggestions on what you would like to be said about you. So here's some people who you can go to for letters of recommendation. Professors, former teachers, academic advisors, coaches, church members, places you volunteered at, your current employment. There are a lot of places where you can go, but you want to find those people who are able to write the letter of recommendations that are best for you. Here's a side note. When I was in graduate school, did you know the professors actually made us write our own letter recommendations, and all they did was read it and sign it? Sometimes if you're in a rush to get a letter recommendation, instead of waiting on them to write it for you, what if you wrote your own letter recommendation, gave it to them, said, hey, can you read over it? And if you agree with it, could you just sign it? So if you're in a rush, that's a quick fix for you. All right, let's keep it going. Use social media to help you find scholarships, not only just the search engine. Social media is key for finding scholarships. I mean, social media, you can do everything on there. I mean, Instagram, you have Instagram. Snapchat, I know you have Snapchat. All right, so go on those websites and just follow different organizations that are going on. They have all these academic tours that they go on, the schools that you want to go to, and ask them, hey, is there any way you can put me in the right direction for scholarships. All right, and here's the last tip I'm gonna give you. Never, ever, ever quit looking for free money. All right, if I go to a job, I work 8 hours, they'll pay me for those 8 hours. They're not gonna keep paying me even though I don't come into work. But did you know with a scholarship, if you put in 4 hours worth of work, you can get paid a chunk of money for just what you did in the past. Most jobs aren't like that. You get paid for being there and doing what you need to do right there. But a scholarship, if you work hard enough to find it and then to write it, it'll keep paying you. And here's a side tip, quick win for you. When you get the scholarship, really stay in contact with them. Just because you received the scholarship doesn't mean you should stop talking to them. Update them, email them, send them pictures of you at the end of the semester of your grades. And the reason why you want to do that is because what if you transfer over to a 4-year university? You want that scholarship to follow you. You want them to like you enough to say, we're going to have that scholarship follow you. Or if you're at a 4-year, what if you go to grad school or medical school or law school? You want that scholarship to follow you. So remember, stay in contact with these people and don't ever stop searching for free money. My name is Sade Burrell, and I hope that this workshop was somewhat beneficial to you. If it was, make sure you check inside the links below, because we'll have some links on search engines that you can go to. We'll have some connections to possibly letters of recommendations and etc. So make sure you check out what's below. Have a great one.